Infertility is not just a medical condition, it's also an emotional, it is mental, it is all round. And today I am joined by a fellow psychologist, and I'm so happy that you're having this conversation with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
And so during our last episode, we had some questions that were asked. I'd like us to begin from there. So the first one was how we can support women who are silently going through this. And the second one we had was how you can support someone who is actually going through this, but not you. Okay.
I think starting with the first one, how just contributing to what you have asked, the first way to support people going through trying to have a baby or actual infertility is arming ourselves with information. Knowledge is power. So just understanding infertility from a medical point of view, as well as the mental, the psychological, all these things empower us to be able to at least be able to put ourselves in our sister or sister or nieces or whoever's shoes,
Yeah.
be able to put ourselves in their frame of reference by first understanding or having some form of knowledge, empowering ourselves with knowledge is I think number one.
All right. So this is other people who are trying to actually support it. So just like she had said, we can start with educating ourselves, but also as people surrounding ourselves with this type of people, we can also try and just being there, listening to them, and without judgment or anything, just fully listening to them without having to give advice or what works for you or what didn't work for you. You can be there present and you can be fully there and offer compassion.
Presence. Sometimes you feel the pressure. I think every time you're across from your friends or someone who is in tears or is in an emotional moment, you feel the pressure to say something, right? You know your pressure. What should I say? I need to say something. I need to make them feel better. And that's human because we're an empathetic race. However, just as you have said, that presence, that compassionate presence, I think knowing that me being present is enough. Me being here, me holding her hand, me being beside her quietly is enough. It's a lot of reassurance. Yeah.
True. When you are trying to reassure someone, this is you validating their feelings. So whatever it is that this person is saying, whatever emotion they are going through right now, you should be able to actually validate them and tell them that this is okay, this is fine. If they're angry, if they're sad, you should try as someone who is trying to support your wife, supporting your sister to ensure that they feel seen, they feel heard, and this is this is a step to healing.
Seen, had. I think I know for certain that everyone, whatever situation, whatever hardship we're going through, being seen, being heard, being acknowledged, that whatever it is you're going through and how you're feeling about it is valid makes all the difference. So I'm glad you highlighted that.
And for women, if you are a woman out there and you are going through this silently, you are trying to have babies, you feel like you are infertile. We we can try and reframe this by first saying you are not infertile. We can, because that is not your identity. We can start by saying you are trying to have children. You are not yet pregnant. Those are the words that you can start, and this would reframe your mind, and it would give you like a different frame of reference when it comes to navigating this journey of infertility. So how would you help a woman that is going through this?
First of all, really just a build up of everything we talked about, creating such spaces. Everything begins from conversation. Conversation takes allowing ourselves to be in spaces where we talk about things, then takes back the power of feeling like it's taboo to talk about trying to have a baby and you're so far, thus far you've been unable or you're still trying. It creating just spaces where you're comfortable enough to talk about how you're feeling, comfortable enough to talk about what this means to you and what it's done to you, the grief and everything is a step in the right direction. So these conversations are in virtual spaces like this, but also in our homes. Um, when partners are having, when partners are talking about, yes, this is where we are so far, this is what we've been through so far, just that acknowledgement, that again, space to talk about it does a lot. Number two, or another place to have these conversations is in our friend groups, that allowing, I think women, we have, it's easy for us to have deep conversations in an instant.
Yeah.
You know, like you meet in a salon and people get deep really fast. But also having those in spaces where it's mixed, spaces where it's men only, women only, and mixed spaces is important. And as we're having those conversations, we're compassionate. We're not, I mean, we started by arming ourselves with knowledge. So knowledge includes compassion, knowledge includes being sensitive. So as we're having these conversations, as you're giving people space to speak and express themselves, you're also listening actively, you're listening compassionately, you're responding carefully.
And also when we speak about having these spaces, we are not just focusing mostly on ordinary spaces. We are like forming support groups because we are women. We have so many women going through it. It is not just you alone, but when you get a support group, people who fully understand what you are going through, that is one step in the right direction. And also communicating effectively with your spouse. I feel everything begins from there. If the both of you are able to communicate, understand where you are as a couple, you are in this situation. But that one does not really, it doesn't define you guys. This is, I came across something called a container box. So if we are having this issue, we're just speaking about this. So okay, we are facing this issue of not being able to have children. Let this issue just be that one issue. Let it not spill out into us being us together, into what we used to do. Because just like we had said earlier, the problem that we are going through affects our mind, affects our body. So everything seems to be overwhelming all at once. But if we are able to communicate effectively and understand each other, this is where I am. How do you feel? Are you blaming me? Are you ashamed? Is it too much pressure from everybody around us? People asking us when. So once you people understand each other, then it is also a step in the right direction.
Indeed. I love the container concept because then these individuals and this couple are able to acknowledge that we are more than this. Just the same way I am more than my job. I am not what I do. I am not who I am, right? Identity. I am not psychologist. I am not mom. I am more than that. Yeah. So the individuals and the couple acknowledging that this is just an assignment. Just the same way work is work. What you do in the community is what you do in the community. All these are assignments that we're given to do in this world, right? But it doesn't define us. It's not who we are. It's not who you are as wife. It's not who you are as husband or partners in whatever other form. And therefore, it's not who we are as a couple. That we are more than this.
Yeah, we are not infertile. We are not those people that can't have children.
Yeah.
We're actually more than that.
That's not our brand.
Yeah. Sometimes we feel like we need to walk with it. Nobody knows that this is what we are going through. But if you actually let it just spill out, then people literally now use it as a form of bashing and things like that. And so we try for it to begin with us. So once we actually communicate well, then we can try and practice mindfulness.
I hear you loud and clear. So we're talking about a box, whether, because most of the time the society puts you in a box, right? If you are trying to have children and you haven't got there yet. I love the word yet. Yet has hope. There's hope in the word yet, right? So the society really tries to keep in a box. If you are jobless, if you don't have a job, if you're looking for a job, the society terms you as jobless, unemployed, and puts you in a box. It's important for us to take power back by getting out of that box, right? Yeah. And this is not us trying to pretend that it doesn't hurt. It's not us trying to pretend that it doesn't break someone to the core. We acknowledge we're acknowledging that this is breaking me, this is making me feel awful, this is affecting my marriage. This is big. We're acknowledging that it's big, but we are also trying to make sure that
we are not limiting it. Is just like any other condition. Some can also try therapy. We might offer here a little bit, but just having a therapist that is working with you, helping you to reframe your mind, how you think. This helps you in moving. This pushes you a step further than where you are as a person. So we can say that that healing is different for everybody.
but there's a silent conversation that the society isn't having, and maybe we can slide into it now. Yeah. Someone who is trying, someone who is listening to me going on and on about stretch marks and whatever. I'm thinking, I want. Those are the problems I want to have.
I feel like for someone who is actually going through infertility and everything, what does healing for them look like? And I'm like, healing has different stages because they do have different stages. One person might be hopeful. The other person might start questioning themselves: is this going to work? Is this not going to work? And the other person might be in that anger stage where they're literally just angry towards their partner, angry towards themselves. They're just thinking maybe their body is failing them, or they're not worthy as as a woman. You know, sometimes we do feel like we are not it, and then we have these ones who are in this space where we want all women to be the acceptance stage. And and in this acceptance stage, this is the situation that I'm in. I'm not able to have children yet. But even in this a situation that I'm in, am I letting it affect every other thing around me? Am I letting it affect my friendship, my job? Even the watchman that you meet outside here, you're literally just invested in your own emotions, in yourself. You're not even thinking about what other people see when they see you. And this is the stage that I want most women to actually get to, the acceptance stage.
Acceptance. So I'm hearing you say that first and foremost, you need to know where you are. I need to know where I am. You know, whoever, I need to know where I am. You need to know where you are. Are you struggling? Are you at acceptance? Are you at anger? Are you at bargaining or whatever? You know, sometimes you read the cycle or the stages of grief, and at times you can be going through it and you're thinking, hata yangu haiko hapa. Like mine is not even named here.
Yeah.
But just being able to reflect, introspect, and figure out first, even before we move on to healing, this is where I am. Yeah, this is how I'm feeling. Just having that honest conversation with yourself that I'm feeling awful. And you said, you something about anger you mentioned is angry at yourself. You could be feeling angry at yourself. You could be feeling angry at your partner. You could also be feeling angry towards God. God, it seems so automatic for everyone else other than me. Like, how unfair is that? So just being honest about where you are is the beginning. I think it's a good place to start this conversation. It's also a good place to start recovery and wholeness, and or rather, journey towards wholeness and well-being.
And when we're able to actually note that this is where we are, and it does something to our body, you actually feel stillness. Because sometimes I know doctors say you need to do this. Therapists here we are telling you to be still, but when you know where you are, just you yourself, there's something that happens. You now start listening to your body slowly by slowly, and you now start understanding yourself in a way no one else is going to actually help you understand where you are as a person. Yeah.
Wonderful. You've mentioned that stillness, and I've thought about. I think I know I could butcher the pronunciation, but I know the thorax and abdomen basically is called visceral. Visceral. I could butcher the pronunciation, but basically, that there is a concept of visceral safety, like rather feeling safety in your heart, your lungs, your abdomen. Just your heart is not beating faster than it should be. Just that stillness brings a sense of safety in your body, because we know that our body keeps score. We know that our body carries emotion. So that emotion for hope and then disappointment, with every trying, with every month cycle, is stored in your body. But beginning to know where you are, being honest with yourself, as you have mentioned, then allows your body to be able to just be still.
Yeah.
And you feel it. By the way, you feel it. And on that note, I've just remembered something that is important in this discussion is being able to listen to your body. And a good way of doing that is we talk about breathing a lot in exercises.
Grounding exercise.
Exactly. Just lying down on your bed, either legs flat or slightly raised, closing your eyes and just focusing on your breathing for a moment there will help you figure out, where am I? What is this I'm feeling? What is this I'm feeling? Okay, it's anger. Being able to name it. It's anger. It's disappointment. It's
Guilt.
It's guilt. It's just sorrow. It's disillusionment. But in that position, and that position means that you're creating time to take care of yourself. That moment of grounding, that moment of meditation, or whatever else you mentioned in this conversation, means that you're creating time. That 9 to 10 p.m. is me time. Me time, as I'm figuring out fertility, as I'm figuring out myself right now, looks like this. It looks like me lying down. It looks like me focusing on my breathing. It looks like me reading a book related. It looks like me listening to a podcast related. Yeah.
And also, even as what you have said in regards to you taking time and lying down, it also gives you it also gives you a sense of rediscovering yourself, rediscovering who was I before starting this whole journey. Who am I without being just without all this? Who am I? So it can take you back to reclaiming yourself. It takes you back to actually restoring yourself to who you are before you started. So each and everything, each and every step leads you to healing. It 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 might not be healing that now you are healed, you are pregnant. No, but it can be healing in terms of you have your sanity back. It can be healing that you're now back to who you are. You're now back to being happy. You're now back to being there for your friends, and this in turn bring everything out in a more positive way.
I love that. I love that healing is not like we're not having this conversation to say this is this is what you should do to get pregnant, or that victory looks like getting pregnant. We're saying that victory looks like you being whole, you being well, you being happy, you being at peace. And I love the word you used, rediscovering yourself.
You are rediscovering yourself. Well, healing looks different for everybody. So acknowledge where you are, whether you're in the anger stage, whether you are grieving, whether you are in the acceptance stage. And once you have accepted that, then that is a point of healing. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and see you on